may seem like great deals, but there is a high cost to fast fashion.
Zara, accusée de faire travailler via ses sous-traitants des réfugiés syriens en Turquie et des enfants âgés de moins de 10 ans. Bonjour Antoine Gignot.
15 tonnes de vêtements de la célèbre marque danoise H&M partiraient chaque année en fumée. C'est ce que révèle une enquête.
The term fast fashion has become a byword for kind of dodgy practices.
Fast fashion brands don't want you to look beyond the fabric.
Très bien.
Fast fashion has engendered a rise in informality, a rise in precarity.
Right from the design of a dress, it's a speedy operation.
The whole process from order to delivery, 12 days.
To its manufacture in sweatshops in the heart of England.
I will be paid how much?
After 2 weeks, £3.
£3 per hour.
Yes.
To the demands of mass production.
जो pollution के कारण से disease पैदा होती थी.
Actually, they are just physically disabled. She is only 26-year-old.
Pulling at the thread of these shockingly priced garments is quickly exposing the dark side of cheap fashion. The planet is being overwhelmed with clothes. Close to 56 million tons of clothes are sold every year. In Europe, the amount purchased has almost doubled since the year 2000.
Today, the textile industry is valued at about $3 trillion. It has grown exponentially. There's some numbers that say it's quintupled in volume. It's absolutely crazy. The figures that I have seen estimate that by 2030, the industry will expand by an additional 60%.
Production costs have fallen. And thanks to fast, disposable fashion, you can constantly renew your wardrobe.
Fast fashion is the commerce of very inexpensive clothing that you are expected or you are ready to replace very rapidly. It's very typical for the fashion-forward buyer to never wear an outfit that they purchased. You will wear something once or twice, or maybe never.
Clothes are so cheap, it's as if they grow on trees. A disaster for the environment. How did it come to this? The very first to practice disposable fashion was a small Spanish brand that is now dominating the industry. Zara has more than 2,000 shops in almost 100 countries.
Zara, c'est 65 000 nouveaux produits chaque année. Pour avoir un ordre de grandeur, normalement, dans l'industrie textile qui n'est pas fast fashion, on est plutôt à 5 000. Donc on est à plus de 10 fois plus de produits chaque année. 65 000 nouveaux modèles par an. Si on divise par 365, on est à 200 modèles par jour. Tous les mois, ils renouvellent les 3/4 de leur assortiment. La concurrence, on estime que ce taux de rotation, il est plutôt au bout de 4-5 mois, en fait.
A rather discreet giant, Zara was founded in A Coruña in the north of Spain. Far from the splendor of Madrid and Barcelona, the capital of Galicia is an average-sized city. Yet it is where Zara's parent company, Inditex, is based, despite the lack of signs to indicate its presence in the city. The headquarters, nicknamed the Cube, is an anonymous building in the industrial estate. Zara, Bershka, Stradivarius, and Massimo Dutti, all the group's brands are based here. At the Cube on this spring day 2016, Amancio Ortega celebrates his 80th birthday. The founder of Zara reigns over an empire of 7,500 shops and 170,000 employees. It accumulates nearly €3 billion in annual profits. Amancio Ortega represents the 6th largest fortune in the world. Allergic to media exposure, he has never given a single interview. Zara also refused to participate in this film. Javier Caramello is one of the few to have witnessed Amancio Ortega in his early years. Javier was one of his first associates before founding his own brand.
Todo el mundo, hablo del textil, quiere ser como Inditex, está claro. Pero Inditex, que ya es una empresa, tiene aún encima pues, un cerebro de una persona que es insustituible.
Zara's story is one of revenge, the Galician small provincials against the luxury industry. In the 60s, Amancio Ortega was a young, ambitious but poor fashion designer. He was looking for that brilliant idea that would allow him to break through. In 1968, he went to Paris with Javier Caramello.
Lo vivimos con el miedo de los años 1968. O sea, lo preparabas un mes antes y vamos a ir a París y se enteraba todo el vecindario de que íbamos a París. Habíamos salido prácticamente a Coruña, Barcelona, Barcelona, La Coruña. Y el miedo que teníamos a perdernos me aprendí. Vamos a ver, había una feria muy importante de lencería y de corsetería en la Puerta de Versalles, en París. En París, precioso, con la boca... Ah, porque era impresionante en París para nosotros, ¿no? Pero no se soñaba todavía con lo que posteriormente fueron las tiendas, lo que es Inditex.
The trip to Paris was a trigger. Rather than creating original designs, Amancio Ortega was inspired by what already had proven to work. In an old garage, he opened his first workshop.
Ortega empezó pues, haciendo batas. Hemos perdido el temor y hemos dicho, bueno, vamos a ver lo que hay en todo el mundo, para no vaya a ser que hagamos un producto que no esté dentro de lo que quiere la gente.
Customers were dreaming of luxury. Amancio Ortega's first success was inspired by a top-of-the-range design, sold at a much lower price.
La mission que Zara s'est donnée, c'est de, comme ils le disent, démocratiser en fait l'accès à la mode, d'être ceux qui vont décliner les marques de luxe à destination du grand public, pour leur donner l'impression qu'ils peuvent faire partie en fait de cette mode qui est assez élitiste en fait à la base et à des prix abordables. C'est là qu'est véritablement le cœur de ce que Zara essaye de faire.
In order to be more efficient than the competition, Zara has set up a unique system. The brand manages almost the entire production chain, from factories to shops. It can then impose its harsh standards.
Zara peut mettre 4 semaines entre le moment où ils vont décider qu'un nouveau modèle doit être mis sur le marché et le moment où il va arriver en magasin. Chez les concurrents, on est en mois et on est plutôt à 5, 6 mois, 8 mois.
Él, para vender su producto, cuando montó las tiendas, buscó los mejores lugares del mundo. Primera tienda en París, ópera, porque en su sentido común le decía, si estoy aquí en el centro voy a vender más que en el pueblo de al lado.
Common sense, but above all, effective marketing ideas that have revolutionized the world of fashion.
Zara a vraiment pris l'inverse de la logique classique de l'industrie. Je préfère que le consommateur ait l'impression de manquer. C'est ce qui va faire qu'il va revenir chez moi parce qu'il va y avoir sans cesse des nouveautés. Toutes les semaines, il y a des choses à découvrir. Il y a une telle rapidité et une telle démultiplication des modèles, ça va inciter le consommateur à revenir. Ils vont réussir à créer un sentiment de rareté auprès des consommateurs et des consommatrices. C'est ce qui fait qu'il revient 17 fois chez eux, alors qu'à la concurrence, un consommateur, une consommatrice classique revient 3-4 fois dans l'année.
Zara hardly does any advertising. Its locations in the heart of cities and the customers' bags are the best showcase for the brand. It's rare for former collaborators to reveal the secrets of this Spanish giant. For 3 years, this French designer worked for Inditex. She designed jeans for Bershka, the group's brand that targets a younger clientele.
Tout est orchestré pour qu'on ne perde pas de temps, en fait. Il y a des évidences, c'est sûr, qu'on peut dire c'est copier-coller. Ça fait partie des raisons pour lesquelles je suis partie, c'est qu'au bout d'un moment, ça va trop loin, quoi.
No time wasted, making it virtually impossible to produce original designs. So the designers go undercover on journeys shamelessly described as inspirational.
Tous les designers voyagent pour s'inspirer. Donc on fait un shopping, donc on avait toutes nos boutiques à voir, donc soit des marques très haut de gamme, soit très conceptuelles, pour vraiment avoir les dernières tendances. On achetait des pièces qui nous semblaient indispensables en termes de forme ou en termes voilà, de tissu, et après les couleurs. Ou alors après, si on avait le Graal, on pouvait trouver le vêtement qui avait les trois, quoi.
Et essayer de le reproduire.
Essayer de le reproduire.
Designers buy the clothes to adapt them into a low-cost version, with very precise specifications.
On avait des formations plusieurs fois par an sur la protection de l'image, pour bien mettre en lumière qu'il fallait faire attention à ne pas être photocopie, quoi. Et donc il faut avoir au minimum 7 points de différence pour ne pas avoir de poursuite, quoi.
Il faut créer des différences.
C'est ça. C'est compliqué, hein. Il faut être réactif à la mode, mais il ne faut pas la copier. Donc c'est trouver le juste milieu, quoi.
From time to time, small designers have enough and attempt to take Inditex to court. But few cases go all the way. One brand refused to back down. As its name suggests, Rains is a rainwear brand. The Danish company manufactures Macintoshes, which are sold in over 20 countries.
That's one. Få hæng lidt i din skulder her. You good?
These are the evidence, yeah.
Daniel Brix, the founder, designed the brand's biggest success, this green Macintosh.
Products which is all about. So this is one of our classic parka coats. Very recognizable, one of our key silhouettes. Well, this was actually one of the pictures we did when we discovered the copy in the market. So here we have two twins wearing the same jacket. Fortunately, one of the twins bought the Zara jacket, and the other twin have the original Range jacket.
On the right, the original. On the left, Zara's version produced at lower cost.
The design has been stolen, for sure. I don't even kind of understand the motivation of doing something which is so similar, since it's so easy to do something which is a bit different, like everybody else do. But in this case, they have made a product which is one-on-one the same.
A clear example of a copy, without the 7 differences imposed by Zara's lawyers. Such an accident should not have happened. The firm's legal department has full authority to refuse a garment deemed too risky.
À chaque fois qu'on faisait un logo ou un développement d'imprimé, on les montrait au service juridique pour savoir si normalement il n'y avait pas de problème. Et des fois, on avait des retours en disant « Attention, c'est trop similaire, c'est trop proche, on peut avoir des problèmes. » Et là, il faut retravailler le vêtement, quoi. Je me rappelle, nos équipes graphistes, ils devenaient fous, quoi.
A high price to challenge this Spanish giant. But Rains has done well for itself. The Danes decide to sue for plagiarism.
Well, a case like this cannot be done for less than 300,000 euros. And even more than that, so it's relatively expensive. Yeah. We hired in private detectives in China to find out information about the whole process of applicating our products. We have 2 factories confirming that they were instructed through a production agent that they were to make the same jacket as ours for this customer, Zara, in Spain.
In the spring of 2020, after 3 years of proceedings, Zara was found guilty by the Danish courts. The firm will have to reimburse the commercial damage and agree not to imitate the Rains trademark again. Dressing well to be socially accepted. The logic dates back. Today, over half of Instagram posts are fashion and beauty related. Camille Colin is a social media icon who goes by the name of Noholita. Every day, she posts videos and photos on social networking platforms.
Là, il y a du ASOS. Là, ça va être du Zara, ça va être du Naked. Ça va être un jean, un Astigal, ouais. 80% de mon dressing, c'est du fast fashion. Parce que je suis une addict au shopping depuis toujours et ce que j'aime, c'est tout le temps changer de tenue. Quand on voit quelque chose, on la veut de suite, on ne veut pas attendre. Le but, c'est d'avoir le plus rapidement possible.
An uncontrollable need to shop, encouraged by big brands. Who know how to control specific regions of the brain? This is at the heart of the work of this American researcher, a specialist in acts of shopping on the brain and neuromarketing.
There's an area that is just about here that is called the ventral striatum, or the nucleus accumbens, and this is a part of the brain that is often associated with reward processing or positive emotions. So most of the things that we care about are how positively someone is responding to a product or a firm or a brand will be represented by activity in this region.
The more brands know about the way our brains work, the more they can influence our purchases. Fast fashion must satisfy the reward circuit. The first way to achieve this, cheap prices.
Là, il y a du misguided. Là, j'ai une petite veste Boo qui devait coûter, je crois, 15 ou 20 euros. Là, par exemple, je porte un pull Nastigal et un jean Boo. Je pense que ça doit être 20 euros et 30 euros le pantalon.
If the price is particularly low, specifically if it's low compared to what you're used to seeing or alternatives in the marketplace, it can actually be seen as a positive aspect or a part of the appeal of a product. You see it less as having to sacrifice that amount of money, but more that you are getting something and able to save much more than you would have had to pay otherwise.
Ouais, effectivement, plus les prix sont bas, plus on va mettre de choses dans notre panier et finalement on va commander peut-être autre chose en plus de ce qui était prévu. Ça, c'est le piège.
Low prices, limited collections, constant stimuli, and above all, social networking. Fast fashion is moving away from the traditional advertising, which is too expensive and not targeted enough. Instead, brands are calling on influencers like Noholita and are implementing a much more subtle marketing scheme.
Moi, j'ai 855 000 abonnés actuellement. Mon record pour une photo, je crois que j'ai dépassé les 100 000 likes. En général, j'en poste 2 par jour sur Instagram. Alors, j'ai reçu cette veste dont je vous avais parlé sur Snapchat, que j'avais vue.
à une soirée 3 Suisses.
Now you go from a company telling you why you should be interested in a product to an individual that you aspire to be or you really like. It seems like these people are talking directly to you and recommending these products.
J'ai hésité avant d'accommander.
All of these social media platforms have found a way to tap into an interpersonal connection that in a way excludes the more impersonal appearance of the firm or the company itself. They come across as being much more genuine.
Influencers are the stars of this new form of advertising. Every fan is a potential target.
Vraiment bien taille haute.
The more known an influencer is, the more money they earn. For a simple video, Noholita can earn up to 5,000 euros.
Ça a été un gros changement pour les marques parce qu'elles ont de plus en plus de budget à consacrer aux influenceurs. Donc, en tout cas, c'est sûr qu'on vend. Instagram nous a permis de pouvoir mettre des liens. Moi, je mets robe, 2 points, mon lien, chaussures, 2 points, mon lien. Et après, les gens n'ont plus qu'à cliquer sur le lien, ça les ramène sur le site marchand. Et après, derrière, on est rémunéré en fonction des ventes qui ont été effectuées via ces liens.
We spend on average between 2 and 3 hours a day in front of our phone. 1 out of every 2 users has a shopping application.
The internet is the new mall. When you're looking at a young generation where it shops constantly shops. You're constantly online. And you're constantly clicking, and your credit card is memorized by your smart device, and you click on something, and you click, and it comes to your house.
For the former leaders of fast fashion, there is an urgent need to re-evaluate their model. The companies that have taken the risk to sell exclusively online are gaining traction. Even more reactive, and even cheaper, they are inventing ultra-fast fashion. The brand Boohoo is little known to the general public, yet it is the world's #1 online fast fashion company. In 2019, the turnover of this English brand approached 1 billion euros. The Boohoo Group has its own line, and also other brands, including Pretty Little Thing. On its site, Boohoo sells this dress for 9 euros. At this price, you would think that it comes from an Asian workshop. However, this garment was made in Europe, in the United Kingdom. Leicester, a working-class city of 300,000 inhabitants in the centre of the country. Until the 1970s, Leicester was the capital of English pantyhose and exported its textile products all over the world. Large factories employed thousands of workers. The textile industry has since returned to Leicester. However, with working conditions alike those of the Third World. Workshops are a hidden world where cameras are not welcome.
अपनी लेस्टर की क्लोथिंग ऊपर आएगी अच्छी बात है कसु कोना कोई ना
Once people see with camera, there will be 100 phone calls in Leicester in within 15 minutes now.
The man who has allowed us to film is called Saeed Khilji. Originally from Pakistan, he is one of the city's most successful entrepreneurs.
This is a factory where we are making garments.
How many people are working here?
We have 92 people. 92 people working. And this is one of the biggest factories in Leicester.
Yeah.
All fast fashion coming from Leicester. And Leicester has great manufacturing capacity that nobody has in UK. Not even in UK, nobody has in whole Europe. Leicester can deliver any garments within unbelievable delivery time. Leicester is master of fashion garments.
Manufacturers return to Leicester for its location in central England, convenient to save time. Time is very much on Saeed Khilji's mind. He develops his own label while supplying English fast fashion brands.
If you want business in UK, you need to be very quick in delivery. We will see this finished garment in 1 hour time. They send us a picture that this is something is very nice. Can you develop something quickly, similar? We are very close to customer. Once the garment is ready, we deliver same day. So we are quickest. Say for example, this development, they want to make it in China. If they send pictures to Chinese supplier, even if they make garment same day, they need to post it. The post will take for 4 to 5 days. Then they will receive they will respond next day. If there are any changes to be made, then they have to resubmit the garment. That will take another 10 days. So they already lost 2 weeks just for sampling. I will write P production sample. This is ready to go. I've just posted your sample and sent your receipt. So once you receive Monday morning, please approve before 12 o'clock. Process is done now. Sample is gone now. We will get approval. They will receive sample ID special delivery. So once it's approved, we will go for production. So the whole process from order to delivery, it's 12 days. This is the unique point of Leicester, of our industry here, that we can do quick, fast service, quick delivery. The fabric is available here all the time. So if the customer needs it very urgently, we can provide them within 2 weeks' time.
But you cannot lose 1 day.
We cannot lose 1 hour. Forget 1 day. This is hour. We are calculating hours and minutes here, not days.
Clothing designed, produced and delivered in 2 weeks, twice as fast as Zara, at unbeatable prices. But this efficiency comes at a high price. The workshop district has become a lawless zone in the heart of England, a shady system of subcontracting.
We have few number of very powerful brands or retailers, buyers at the top, that place orders to a very large number of smaller manufacturers that chase smaller orders every day, obviously engenders competition and pushes prices down. For manufacturers, it's always important to take any order they can get, even if they don't have the capacity to fulfill the order. And that is part of the problem. They have to subcontract it. And often they subcontract it to second or third tier factories where working conditions are of a much lower standard than they might be in the first tier manufacturer.
There is no shortage of job offers in these sweatshops, embroiderer, cutter or dressmaker. Tanya is a journalist. Equipped with a hidden camera, she will go undercover into the workshops of Leicester.
I'm looking for a job. Do you know if somebody here is looking for somebody? I learn very quickly, so I'm looking for a little job. I don't know, packaging, sewing.
How many days here?
In Great Britain?
Yeah.
Only for some weeks. So do you know somebody who is looking for some workers?
You know, it's tight. 1 week, yeah? If it's good work, no problem.
Okay.
Okay? But this one you raise is cash, no transfer money. Is there any problem?
And no problem, no.
Come.
Okay.
The windows are covered up. It's the middle of winter and there's no heating. The boss offers a trial period, unpaid.
You can just 1 2 weeks try. This is learning, ladies. After 2 weeks, £3.
£3 per hour.
Yeah.
£3 per hour. This is illegal. In the UK, it's not even half the minimum wage.
How much hours should I
You
work?
do like, no problem. 10, 12 or 14.
Ah, even 14.
Yeah, no problem. It's open.
So I can...
If you're happy, no problem.
At what time should I come here every morning?
8 o'clock.
Okay.
6 o'clock.
8 o'clock till 6 o'clock. Okay. I will try. This one, it's not an easy one.
You have to put it only not...
Step by step.
No step.
But I have 2 weeks to...
For any job post, a brief demonstration of the sewing machine.
And what is this?
Skirt.
Skirt. Okay.
Only having arrived a few hours ago, Tanya, a novice seamstress, is making skirts, free of charge. These skirts will be sold online by one of the biggest fast fashion brands.
Pretty little things. Pretty little things.
Pretty Little Thing is one of the brands of the Boohoo Group. The skirts that Tanya manufactures are sold for €15. It's barely 1 p.m. when suddenly work stops.
Sorry?
Finish.
Today for all the day?
Yes.
Why?
No, this document sample no coming.
Ah, so it's finished today?
All.
Everybody?
Yes.
Workers paid by the hour are sent home without compensation.
Fast fashion has engendered a rise in informality, a rise in precarity. Workers essentially work on a system of informal zero-hour contracts, so they never have a contract.
So see you tomorrow?
Yes, see you tomorrow. Bye, Tanya.
Bye.
The Leicester workshops have a bad reputation. Many brands are now refusing to do production there, but not the Boohoo Group and its brand Pretty Little Thing. A brand on the rise, in 2019 its sales doubled, with a revenue of nearly €400 million. Pretty Little Thing did not wish to be interviewed. But we managed to get access to the opening of the Parisian showroom of the brand to meet its CEO. Umar Kamani, 32 years old, is the son of the founder of Boohoo, Mahmoud Kamani. Thanks to Boohoo, the father became a billionaire. Surrounded by his bodyguards, his son enjoys the attention.
With Pretty Little Thing, we want to be more than a fashion website. We want to be a lifestyle brand. We want to give good meaning to the customer, you know, good values. If you have a daughter, we think Pretty Little Thing should inspire girls in the right way.
I've got a dress here. It's a dress, it's 15 euros. How are you able to do a dress 15 euros? It's made in the UK. How do you do this?
Yeah, I'm not answering this question.
Why?
I don't want to.
Why? It's your dress.
Yeah.
It's PLT.
Yeah.
How do you do this?
I don't want to answer the question.
Why?
Why? I don't have to answer a question, do I?
No, but I'm just asking a simple question. How is it you...
Ask somebody else.
But you're the boss, no?
Ask somebody else.
No. We know this dress is made by workers that are paid half the minimum wage. We know that. How do you address this? That's over? Keep walking. Don't touch me. Turn your fucking camera. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep going.
After this eventful first meeting, Pretty Little Thing wrote to us. The brand stated that all textile workers working for Pretty Little Thing are treated fairly, and they receive at least the minimum wage. Producing clothes at such a low price has a very high environmental cost. Textiles are the second most polluting industry in the world, after oil.
Per one part, 1 ton of fabric, as we call it, 200 tons of water are polluted. So 1 to 200 is the ratio. The more commerce there is, the more pollution there's going to be without efficient filtration and cleanup technology. If the fashion industry is going to expand by an additional 60% in the next 10 years, then we're going to get 60% more pollution.
Under the pressure of public opinion, the textile industry is trying to rebrand. In trade shows, the colour of choice for marketing is green. Organic, responsible, recyclable, the guise of green fashion. A certain fabric encapsulates this shift, viscose. Many fast fashion brands are using this cheap artificial silk. This red dress from ASOS and the snake pattern sheath dress from Boohoo are made of 95% viscose.
So this is the wood. From here you make the pulp, and from there you make fiber. So that's viscose, the cellulosic fiber. And from here it became yarn, from yarn to fabric. The process it takes from where you source the wood, the kind of certifications you fall into, all that put together helps you a nature-based product, yeah. Viscose is more eco-friendly.
Viscose is manufactured by a handful of companies around the world. Among them is the Birla Group, a $40 billion Indian conglomerate. Inditex, H&M, ASOS, the biggest names in viscose are buying from Birla.
We believe that the planet comes first. Our philosophy of forest to fashion.
Viscose, according to Birla, is a blessing.
Because we believe that what's good for the planet is what's good for us.
However, in order to transform wood into fabric, many chemicals are needed. One of the most dangerous is a highly toxic solvent, carbon disulfide, CS2.
Then the addition of a liquid called carbon bisulfide causes another chemical change.
Well, it's marketed as a green product. Is it basically a lie? Yes, it's an extremely interesting poison.
The danger comes from the fumes of CS2. To make the cellulose, which will give the viscose its thread-like texture, the wood pulp is immersed in a bath of sulfuric acid. Then CS2 is added.
The minute it hits the sulfuric acid, the carbon disulfide leaves the cellulose. Unfortunately, where it leaves the cellulose too is the workroom where the workers are working. It just goes up into the air.
In India, in the state of Madhya Pradesh, the city of Nagda is home to the Birla Group's plant. Founded in 1956, it is a town within a town. 5,000 workers work there day and night, and journalists are not welcome.
मैं तो फर्नेस में किया था काम मैंने CS2 जो मेन CS2 बनती है ना उसी में
भगना पड़ता उसके लिए कोई भी हुआ बोले जब सामने गैस आता है ना तो आदमी को भगना पड़ता है किधर की हवा ले अपन नहीं अगर नहीं ले तो वो वहीं गिर जाए और बहुत खतरनाक होती है वो तो एक बार अगर आदमी अगर उस CS2 में जाएगा तो कम से कम 10 दिन या 15 दिन बास नहीं निकलती उससे
स्मेल आएगी
खुशबू रहेगी बराबर उसकी कपड़े अपने अगर उसमें 8 दिन गए तो 6 महीने तक खुशबू नहीं निकलेगी इससे
Dr. Paul Blanc has listed the problems associated with CS2, eye disease, loss of fertility, and vascular problems.
When I did my work on this book, I visited the areas in Wales where these large factories had been. I started to get emails from people, and they would say, you know, my father died at the age of 42 from a heart attack. He worked in the factory, and we never got a penny in him.
Ashok Porwal began working at Birla in 1981. In June 2019, he suffered a heart attack, which he says was job-related.
Yes. मानते हम कि कंपनी की वजह से ही हुई मेरे को जो अटैक आया है कंपनी की वजह से आया विस्कोस को इकट्ठा करते थे वो फिल्टर करते थे हम विस्कोस को
तो उन्होंने क्या आपको काम करने के पहले कोई ट्रेनिंग दी
नहीं दी मेरे को डायरेक्ट वहाँ लगा दिया काम करो आप जाओ वो हाथ से काम करना पड़ता था हाथ से फिल्टर करते थे उसके अंदर कपड़ा लगाता था उसको फिल्टर करो आप CS2 गैस को नहीं बताया मेरे को नहीं बताया किसी भी अधिकारी ने नहीं बताया कंपनी के अधिकारी ने इसमें काम करने से कोई नुकसान नहीं होगा ऐसा काम मेरे को
At the age of 58, he is on unpaid sick leave indefinitely. Are there any occupational illnesses related to Birla's activities? Birla tells us that their activities have no impact on the health of the workers or residents on the Nagda site. It is difficult to verify this, as Birla treats their employees in their own hospital. Milder cases are referred to the city's public hospital. Dr. Chawla worked in this hospital. For 40 years, this surgeon has been its medical officer, a privileged witness of the omerta that protects Birla.
Big diseases, they used to attend their own hospital because management don't want that they should come to in civil hospital because it will be exposed, it will be open. अपनी जो पॉल्यूशन के कारण से डिसीज पैदा होती थी वो चीज को छुपाना चाहते थे.
Until his departure in 2004, Dr. Chawla was the medical authority who could have initiated studies on the health of the Birla workers, but he was not even aware of the existence of the CS2.
Was there ever in Nagda large-scale medical study of the workers' population?
No. I have not given any such work to do something. They don't permit their workers to give any statement which goes against to the factory. If they came to know that something is going on in the civil hospital, they put a check on the worker. कि no, don't go there. We will treat you in our hospital. उन्होंने कभी चांस ही नहीं दिया कि तुम कुछ लिख के कुछ डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करो, क्योंकि उनके तो नेगेटिव पॉइंट हो जाता वो.
Abhishek Churasya is one of the rare citizens of Nagda to denounce the pollution linked to the factory. A law student, he filed a complaint against the viscose producer.
Actually, they are not allowing the people to come inside the company. They are just always hide the all thing in front of the all people. Nobody can take action against them because they have too much long hand.
The student's complaint alerts the Madhya Pradesh state authorities. In January 2020, the Pollution Control Agency inspected the Birla factory. The authorities ordered the factory to take action. But above all, for the first time, they demanded a study of the effects of pollution on the health of workers, looking particularly at CS2. Downstream from the plant, along the Chambal River, 20,000 people live in around 20 villages. Parmakedi is one of these villages. Located 4 kilometers from the plant, for years the villagers have been claiming more and more health problems. The residents' complaints were finally heard by the authorities. For the first time, doctors were sent to check up on the residents. Among the restless patients was this father who came with his 2 disabled sons.
उनकी हिस्ट्री अच्छी बता रहे थे कि वो लोग चलते थे, स्कूल जाते थे, 5वीं 6वीं क्लास तक वो स्कूल चल के गया है. तो इस कारण से चल के गया है, मतलब उसमें मसल पावर उसका रहा है नॉर्मल. स्टार्टिंग में उसका नॉर्मल रहा है, बाद में वो नहीं चल पाया है, वो धीरे धीरे करके वो डिसेबल्ड हो गया है. हाथ में पावर है, हाथ ऊपर
There are no official statistics. However, many inhabitants show similar symptoms: paralysis, joint problems, even loss of speech.
In this single family, there are 3 people are suffering from physical disability. This girl has been 26-year-old, and they both brothers are 23 or 24 years. Actually, they are just physical disabled, and the growth of the body is stopped. And you just see the hair of that girl. She is only 26-year-old.
At the time of their visit, government doctors counted 209 people with health problems, potentially linked to pollution. For the inhabitants, the number 1 suspect is Birla. They accuse the plant of having dumped its waste into the river for decades. The village of Parmakedi has no running water. The inhabitants drink water from wells fed by the Chambal River. In 2018, Birla committed to distribute drinking water. The company finances 6 daily deliveries, providing 90 litres to each family.
The companies are availing the drinking water.
Why would the company give free water to the inhabitants?
Because they know that they are responsible for the pollution. Otherwise, why they are just providing the water to the, not this village, they provided 22 villages. And they know that they are responsible for the pollution. And they only provide the water for drinking purpose, not other uses.
To water their crops, the farmers of Pamakedi still use polluted water from the Chambal River. In January 2020, the authorities ordered Burla to improve water quality downstream from the plant. The Burla Group refutes all responsibility, asserting that water pollution is not related to viscose production and refers to the presence of other industries. Meanwhile, the global demand for viscose is rising. In Nagda, the factory will increase its production and will soon be expanded. The fashion industry wants us to believe that it will become sustainable, but in reality, the opposite is happening. The lifespan of a fast fashion garment is short, and not only because we're getting tired of them and throwing them away.
Dieses Kleidungsstück ist ja noch nicht oft getragen, aber wir sehen hier um die Hüfte schon Pilling. Bei diesem Kleidungsstück sehen wir sehr schön, dass die Fasern also sehr schnell aufgeraut wurden und jetzt also diesen Effekt haben, dass es schon nicht mehr neu aussieht. Bei vor allen Dingen diesen Fast-Fashion-Teilen würde ich sagen, dass sie sowieso nicht im Second-Hand-Laden verkauft werden können.
Barely 1% of clothing can be resold. Every year in Europe, 4 million tons of textiles end up in the trash. Can we stop this fast fashion machine? Small brands are pleading for a return to slow fashion. Clothes of higher quality, which can be reused and resold. Commendable efforts, but simply not enough. Can slow fashion satisfy people the same? Studies by the French Fashion Institute show that less novelty in stores means less shopping. It's as simple as that.
If I had $1 for every time somebody asked me, tell me what I should buy, I say nothing. Nothing. You have way too much stuff already. But now what do? What do we say? Stop spending money? This is not a viable economic solution. Not shopping is not a solution to the industry. So fast fashion will continue to be popular and it will continue to show strides towards improving towards circularity. So we might see minor improvements in product development, but we will not see the end of fast fashion.